That was one of the great laughs, the most infectious laugh I've ever heard. I don't know what the hell was that funny, but you went into that
Were
little
you there,
room and kept
Keanu,
it
when
going.
that happened?
It was just the silliest thing.
I have never laughed.
I went to
harder.
kiss her goodbye, which was just absurd.
It's so absurd.
And then, so, well, nice.
But it was
and
a
I went,
back bend. No,
but
it
she did
was-
one of these takes where she went, yeah, but it was the...
Well, the thing, no, but we danced with each other like this into a deep, deep back bend, and I thought,
I kept moving.
I wonder how much.
She just went down. And then she had to go to the room and laugh for 10 minutes. I wish she'd have kept it.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Jimmy Caan, I'm much funnier.
That was
not in the presence
fair
of you two goofballs.
for what she can do.
She's funnier than that, you know?
It's not that she's funnier. She's so much more than that.
So how would you describe Vera Farmiga?
You see, I don't know whether to be funny or to be straight.
That was a tweener. That was a tweener.
It's a twitcher.
Yeah.
That was my whole character in the movie.
Yeah,
I don't.
we just
but no, I've worked with a lot of people, and unfortunately I didn't have enough because this hog did I just had most of the stuff with her. But
I'm smart.
Anytime, anywhere, she was very, very easy to be around. She wouldn't put out or anything, but her husband's around and all that. But no, she was good.
And
If I
Keanu
kissed
put
her,
out?
if I slapped her, it didn't matter. She was right there.
And did Keanu put out for you, or?
He put out in the beginning, but it wasn't so good.
I just had to do what I had to do.
It's a tough business.
It's a tough business.
So did this script just come across the transom through your agents, and was something to possibly do, or how did you get into it?
You're looking at 7 people.
I know, I'm sorry, there's 3 of you, so what was your way in? We'll start in the middle and work our way out.
The truth is, and it's gotten worse in that, I was getting some scripts, and I mean, I didn't feel like I was ready for the horror stage yet, although I have been, but I mean, it was just, there was no hope. So I was really depressed, and then this came along, and I just loved the idea that was, it was just a nice, funny, it wasn't curing cancer. I keep using that thing, but I mean, it's just not there anymore. I mean, just stories about people, and it was funny, and it was, delightful, and I felt like, it's the kind of movie, like if you lose a laugh for the sake of some story point, we were never there. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was about characters and not so much about, words. Do you know what I mean?
Which I assume was the draw for you guys as well.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, it's slim pickings out there. I mean, I feel the same way. And tonally, I thought I was delighted by it. It's just, it was a delightful script. I loved, I don't often get a chance. I do a lot of dramas, and it was lighter fare. It was silly.
Does it big and small matter to you so much?
Not at all. It's to me. It always comes. There's got to be something that sparks me about the character and the fellow collaborators. Keanu I didn't care so much about. He stiffed me in The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Oh my God.
Stiff to what?
I was up for The Day the Earth Stood Still, and he didn't hire me.
Like it was up to me.
You were there hiring people with
It
it?
wasn't. No, of course
What's
I
the matter
wasn't.
with you? Blame him for something.
But not that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Somebody else hated you.
It wasn't me.
And then Jimmy Caan's name it was brought up too, and I just thought it was a wonderful coupling of actors, and I wanted in.
She did. She slobbered all over me. It's enough. I got it. Your holiness
That was
will be
spit.
fine.
It was spit. It was spit.
So you were first in, Keanu?
Yeah, it was a script that I had worked on for developed with a producing partner since about 2005.
So you were hiring in this case? Not the day the earth stood still, but here.
Yeah, this one I had a little more say in, but no, it was, and that was actually one of the things that was great in the sense that you work on a script for 4 or 5 years and then you kind of send it out, and it was great that script, you know, that you both found something in that you liked, you know.
Well, it's kind of a dream cast for a small movie. When you look at it, it's kind of, don't expect to have so much firepower in kind of an intimate little piece.
Well, good.
And it struck me as
I
very...
didn't look at it as little. I mean, you know what I mean? You don't. I mean, there are little pictures when they talk about little pictures. It's usually about money, but I didn't look at it as little. I mean, we had plenty of everything we needed for the movie. Right. You know what I mean? We had all the locations we needed, and we had you know, we had a great crew, and I mean all of those things. So it was. I've been in a couple of little pictures. Didn't feel little. I mean.
And there's a scale to the kind of the characters, right? The kind of the being trapped and then being released, the romance of that, people kind of trying to get out of their own lives in a way, but not knowing what they were like. You know, your character's comfortable in jail. You know, your character is kind of comfortable with the struggle, but in a weird way controlling it. And through the act of Henry trying to rob this bank, we all kind of wake up in a way.
All three of you were kind of in jail at the beginning of the movie.
Reclaim our lives, yeah.
All three of you were kind of in jail at the beginning of the movie because you've got your jail of inaction and your jail is...
Stagnancy.
Yeah.
It's also, I think for me, it's wanting to bust out and having these dreams and ambitions and hopes, but not really being proactive about doing anything about it. Yeah. I mean, certainly that's what happens with my character. She's... You know, he ignites her out of her stagnancy.
And is it fun? I mean, the three of you seem to be kind of, I mean, obviously there are some great supporting actors in this as well. It really is a three-person show to a great extent. So did you guys just naturally fall into the relationship? Did you have a lot of rehearsal time?
We did all the talking pretty much up front. And I didn't get to know Vera, but like the first scene, it was over. I mean, we had some. I mispronounced Ravinsky, and then, I mean, it was so funny.
Was that your first scene, the car scene?
Yeah, I think so.
The car scene
was it really?
Yeah. It went from her to like being mad to beating the living crap out of me. But I said Ravinsky, and then I was telling her that I was in the theater and all of that, and I said, "We're playing Madame Ravinsky," and she said, "What did you say?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, Renevsky. It's Renevsky. I said, what did I say? Without cracking a smile. Well, what did I say? She said, you said Ravinsky. I go, God, that's odd.
That's
she started pounding me. So I knew right away we were in good shape. And Keanu and I mean, our personalities really matched up for this in that, I mean, for me, what was fun was that this criminal is really, I mean, he with all his baloney, whether it's baloney or not, gets this done, gets his dream fulfilled, gets her dream, and he's just a full of crap guy. But you know, it's not a mean kind of, you know. Yeah. So he's lecturing him, and I tell him it's all lies, but the audience really doesn't know a lot. You know, I studied with all these great philosophers. And my dream is your, what is it?
Your dream is your truth is your destiny.
Your dream is your truth is your destiny.
That got cut.
No, I might have made that up. It got cut.
It got cut.
I tell him to cut it 84 times.
That was hysterical.
But the idea at the end was that whatever the bullshit was, it worked. You know, that's kind of funny for me. I mean, that's what, you know, was funny. And
well, your character seems to plow through no matter what it is. He seems to be completely full of shit, and yet somehow he knows how to move forward when the time comes. Whether it's taking the gun away from
Fisher Stevens.
Well, originally when I thought of this, I had a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, that I was a karate expert, and my piece in the jail was like, you know, if you live your life lying, you know, or being a con guy, you got to remember who you lied to. I mean, it's a process, you know. You got to remember, and it's really stressful. But in jail, you only know these certain people. You can tell them anything,
Sure.
and that's who you are.
Sure.
So it wasn't just originally. It was what, the
That's
3
amazing.
meals in a cot.
Yeah.
But it's way more than that. It's like
Yeah.
I
That's
could be
amazing.
whoever I wanted to be. And I
Yeah.
entertained everybody. Everybody thought I was cool. You know, that's why I had the sneakers, because, you know, I had a little
Sure.
special thing. And
And the little ducktail thing, like the ducktail,
yeah.
little
and
hair, little flavor,
it's
little
all
style.
baloney. And, and somehow, I mean, with all the baloney that's going on, you know,
You tell the truth.
these people, well, whether it's the truth or not, you know what I mean?
You're
They're on their
affected.
way. I mean,
Yeah.
They need the truth. Do you have to take your producer hat off when you get on the set? Is it a very different experience for you?
There were certain situations where it was, yeah. Well, because sometimes when you're acting, your emotions and the emotions of the character are your focus, and then when you're producing, your focus is on other people.
But
how
I
they feel.
I got to tell you, I mean,
you know?
I've said this before, but great praise to him, and I don't like to do that, especially when he's sitting near me. But I think Vera, I think I never was aware of the fact that he was a producer when we're acting, because
No.
that would, I don't know, it just would be uncomfortable. I mean, if he's not an actor, you know, he's not, you know, with me in the scene.
We're not
he's
yet.
with it.
No.
So he was really great about that. I mean, you know, I don't like to talk to I'm talking to an actor, producer. Get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? So he kept it really private. So we were never. I
No,
was
there's
never aware
a-
of him doing so. I mean, he really handled that. I mean, great for me, and I think for Vera too. Because we just had a lot of fun, you know, and he had all the misery. That's why he didn't have any fun. He went home every night.
Yeah, I know.
Pulled his hair out. I don't know what he did. He probably stabbed himself a few
Yeah,
times.
and then the knots with the rope.
Was it fun? Was it as fun as this on the set?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yeah.
Because you knew you were doing good stuff, or because it was a group of people that got together, or?
Because the material allowed me to be carefree and joyful. Even though I'm playing someone who's unhappy, I love that contradiction. Because I got screwball collaborators like these two who made it fun, and I think it comes across on screen when people are genuinely, when the actors are having a great time, it comes through.
Is it fun to be an actress playing an actress?
It was more fun than I thought it would be. It's certainly not a role that it was one of the few roles that I said, it's just too redundant to play an actress someone who's aspiring to be an actress. But this, you know, she's a diva of the Buffalonian stage who's looking for more, you know, who stars. There's always something that grabs you about a character. I mean, within the first couple of pages, I'm belting, and this character's belting out a Buffalo Lotto commercial, you know. And so, yeah.
But you got it in one take, I
It's fun.
assume?
It was actually probably the most nerve-wracking scene to play because there was not an actual jingle written for me.
Huh.
So, and I had actually never been in a sound booth singing into a mic, so I was terrified trying to come up with something that sounded like a regional upstate New York lotto commercial. But yeah.
And why Buffalo? How did it end up being in Buffalo?
It kind of came. It didn't kind of. It came from the writer Sasha Gervasi, and it was a little intuitive. But I think what we started to feel in working on the piece was that there was a city with a storied past that had changed so much through circumstances, and yet has an indomitable spirit. You know, there's something about going to Buffalo and the people there that's just like, it doesn't matter how it's changing, for better or worse.
Right.
We're gonna go forward. We're gonna be okay, and we're gonna be welcoming people.
And how was Buffalo for you guys when you were off work?
Well, I was the first guy in Hollywood. I don't know, in Hollywood, the first